Think back to being a kid in the backseat of a car on a long drive. 10 minutes felt like an hour. Are we there yet? Wasn't whining. It genuinely felt like you've been trapped in a seatbelt for half your life. Now think about last week, last month, this entire year. Gone. Compressed into almost nothing. Same minutes, same hours, same clock that has never once changed speed. So why did time used to crawl and now it runs? The popular answer is the proportion idea. When you're 5, a single year is 20% of your whole life. When you're 50, that same year is only 2%. So each year is a smaller slice, and a smaller slice feels smaller. It's tidy, it's in every video on this topic, and it explains almost nothing. Because you don't experience your life as a fraction. Nobody walks around dividing today by the total number of days they've been alive. The math is real, but the feeling doesn't come from math. So, if proportion isn't the engine, what is? Here's the trick your brain's been pulling. You think you can feel time passing. You can't. There's no organ for it. No sense for time the way you have sight or hearing. What you actually do is judge time in hindsight by checking one thing: how much you remember. A stretch packed with memories feels long when you look back on it. A stretch with almost nothing in it feels like it evaporated. Now here's the key. Your brain isn't a camera running at a constant speed. It's a budget. And it refuses to spend memory on anything it's already seen. The first time you drove a car, every second was burned into you. The 10,000th drive to work? Gone. Your brain didn't bother saving it. Why store another copy of something it already has? Childhood feels endless because everything was for the first time. Adulthood feels fast because you've trained your brain that most days are reruns, and it stops recording reruns. Say that part again, because it's the whole video. The speeding up of time is your own brain quietly deciding your days are no longer worth remembering in detail. That should bother you. Good. Hold on to that. Neuroscientist David Eagleman wanted to know if this was real, if fear genuinely slows time, or if we just remember it that way. So, he dropped people off a 150-foot tower backwards into a net. Real terror. On each person's wrist, he strapped a special screen flashing numbers slightly too fast to read normally. His logic was clever. If time truly slowed down during the fall, they'd be able to read the numbers. They couldn't. Not one of them. But, and this is the point, every single one swore the fall lasted longer than it actually did. So time never slowed down. Their memory got denser. Pure terror made their brain record everything, and that flood of detail tricked them into thinking more time had passed. There it is, proven in a falling human body. Time isn't measured by the clock in the moment. It's measured by the memory afterward. And here's the cruel part. The design flaw. The things that make life more comfortable are the exact things that make it vanish. Routine. Knowing the way home without thinking. Being good at your job. Stability. We spend our 20s and 30s building a life smooth enough that nothing catches us off guard anymore. And a life with no surprises is a life your brain barely bothers to save. We chase comfort, and we accidentally erase our own memories in the process. The reward for getting good at living is that living stops registering. That's why the decades blur and the childhood summers don't. You didn't run out of time. You ran out of new. So the fix sounds easy. do new things. And it's true, novelty is the only known lever that stretches time back out. 1 week somewhere foreign holds more memory than 3 months of your normal life. That is why a trip feels long when you look back, even though it flew by while you were in it. But here's what the feel good version leaves out: novelty only works because it's uncomfortable. Your brain records the new precisely because the new is a little threatening. The unfamiliar route, the awkward conversation, the skill you're embarrassingly bad at. That discomfort is the recording light switching on. So, slowing down time isn't about doing pleasant new things. It's about being willing to be a beginner again, to not know the way, to be bad at something on purpose. Most people won't pay that price. They'll trade their memories for comfort and call it getting older. So, time isn't speeding up. Your life isn't getting any shorter. Your brain is just skipping the parts you've stopped paying attention to, and it'll keep skipping them all the way to the end unless you give it a reason not to. You can't add days to your life, but you can make the days you have refuse to be forgotten. So, I'll leave you with the only question that actually moves the needle. When was the last time you were bad at something new? If you can't remember, that isn't a coincidence. That's the reason the years keep slipping away.